Hi all, today we are going to talk about the first chapter of NCERT textbook of your class 10. So, our topic is light. So, in this chapter we have to study about some important points about the light. Basically we are looking the first two properties, very basic two properties of this chapter, that is reflection and refraction. Okay. So, first of all we can look some of the properties of light. Okay. So, the first point is that we know that light is a kind of energy, okay, like the sound energy is there, mechanical energy. So, like that the sound is a kind of energy, and this energy we can sense with our own eyes. And some other properties are the light can move in a straight line, and this light can move through the transparent medium basically. Okay. It is moving in a straight line in a transparent medium. So, on the basis of that property, if a medium where through the light can move, that is called transparent medium. If the light cannot move through a medium, that is called opaque medium. Now, we are going to study about the reflection. Okay. So, how we can define the reflection. So, reflection is the main property of light, and we are going to define that reflection. So, we can say like this: the reflection can happen when the light passes through a medium and hit any surfaces and return back to the same medium. Okay. So, that is called a reflection. So, again, if the light is coming through a medium and hitting a surface and going back to the same medium, then that is called a reflection. Then next we can take the parts of reflection. So, what are the parts of reflection? So, here you can see that OA is the incident ray and OB is the reflected ray, and the ON, that is the normal, and there you can see two angles which is between the normal and incident ray. So, that is called incident angle, and if the angle is between normal and the reflected ray, that is called reflected angle. So, these all are the 5 parts you have to familiar with while you are studying this chapter. Next we can take the law, that is called law of reflection. So, basically the reflection is working according to these two laws. So, the first law tells that the angle of incidence and angle of reflection will be equal. So, that is the first rule which must satisfy the reflection. And the second one is the 3 lines, means the incident ray, normal and the reflected ray. These 3 lines should be in a plane. If you are keeping a paper, so these 3 lines will be incidenting, or it will be lie on that paper itself. So, that means that these 3 lines will be in a plane. The next topic is the types of reflection. So, there are basically 2 types of reflections are there. The first one, if the light is hitting on any rough surfaces, means the wall or any wooden desk, if the light is reflecting there, then the reflection will be like this. So, this reflection means that the parallel light is coming and hitting that surface, and it is not going parallel. Okay, it is going as the wish. So, that is called the diffused reflection. Then the next one is if the light is coming parallel and hitting any surface and going or reflecting parallelly. So, that kind of reflection is called regular reflection. So, it is happening on any smooth surface like the mirror or any smooth surface. Then the next one we can look at the mirrors. There are 3 types of mirrors are there. So, first one is the common, the plain mirror, which you can see in your almirah of your room or something. Then the second one is concave mirror, and the third one is convex mirror. So, looking at the second and third, they are having a spherical shape. So, these spherical shaped mirrors are called spherical mirrors. So, this is very important. This we are going to study in this chapter, the spherical mirrors. So, the spherical mirrors are in 2 types, the concave mirror and convex mirror. So basically we are using the mirror, the concave mirror in the as a rear view of your car, rear view mirror of the car, and if you are taking the convex mirror, the main views that we are using in our makeup mirror or shaving mirror. So these are the uses of the concave mirror and convex mirror. So we can look at the parts of the spherical mirrors. So if you are looking the parts of the spherical mirrors, so you can see the first of all the center of the mirror, so that is called the pole. Then second, you can see here, if you are considering the spherical mirror as a sphere and the center of the sphere, that is called the center of curvature. Then the third point is focus. Focus is the point in between the C and P, which means the center of curvature and pole. In between these 2 points means in the middle of the pole and center of curvature, you can see the focus, the point F. Then there is a line which is going through these 3 points. Okay, this line is called principal axis. Then the length between the pole and the focus, that is called focal length, and the length between the pole and the center of curvature, that is called radius of curvature, which is denoted by capital letter R, and the focal length is denoted by the small letter f, and they are related. So we know that the focus is the midpoint of the pole and center of curvature. So the focal length will be half of the radius of curvature, that means f equal to r by 2. So if you are talking about the images, there are 2 types of images are there. One of them is virtual image, the second one is real image. So we all are familiar with virtual image. So if you are looking to a mirror, you can see your own picture, right? So that image is called virtual image. That image is inside or behind that mirror. So that is called virtual image, and the next one is real image. So real image, practically we are getting from some kind of experiments. So if you are getting the image in a screen, okay, if you are putting one screen and you are getting that object's image in that screen, so that is called the real image. So remember that in the real image you are not getting the image inside the mirror, you are getting the image on the screen. So that is called the real image. So next we are going to look at the concave mirror, the image formation in concave mirror. So how will be that? So we are taking 6 particular case, or a specific 6 cases we are taking, and we are placing the objects in different positions. So we will get the images in different places. So we are going to look at that. So now we can look at the table. So in the table you can see there, if the position of object at infinity, then the image will be at focus. Then we can see the size of image, which is highly diminished, it means very small, and the nature of image means the image will be like real, which we can see at the screen, and it will be inverted. Then the second case, beyond C, the position of image is at between F and C, focus and center of curvature, and the size of image is diminished, small. Okay, if you are comparing the first 2 cases, in the first case we are getting very small image, in the second we are getting better than the first one, which means larger than the first one, but it is small. Then the nature of image again real and inverted. Looking the third case at C, so we are getting the position of image also is at C. Then the size of image, you can say same size. So the object, the size of object and the size of image will be same. And the nature of the image is real and inverted. The fourth case is between C and F, and we are getting the image at beyond C. So just look at the second case is the inverse of the fourth case, between C and F, and we are getting the image at beyond C, and it is enlarged one. Okay, big image we will get there. Then real and inverted again. Then the fifth case is at focus, at F. So again we are getting the image at infinity. So it is the inverse of the first case. Then the size of image is highly enlarged one, which means very large image we are getting, and the nature of image is real and inverted. Then if you are looking the last case is something different is there, like the between P and F means between pole and focus we are placing the object and we are getting the image behind the mirror. So if it is behind the mirror it will be virtual. So you get, and the nature of image we can see there virtual and erect, and it is also an enlarged image. Then the next we are looking the convex mirror. There you can see there are only two cases are there. So in the first case at infinity we are getting the image at focus which is behind the mirror, and it is very small and we know that it is behind the mirror, so it will be virtual and erect. Then the second case is between infinity and the pole. Okay, so wherever it is between infinity and the pole, wherever the object stays, the image will be between pole and focus, and it is very small, virtual and erect, which means the virtual means it will be behind the mirror, and the erect it is not upside down, it is like the object. So in this chapter we have to familiar with the two main equations. The first one is mirror equation. So mirror equation tells that the connection between focus or the focal length, the u means the distance to the object, and v means the distance to the image. So these three terms are connected by using a mirror equation. So the mirror equation will be like this: 1 by f equal to 1 by u plus 1 by v. By using this equation we can find the focus or the focal length by using u and v, or we can find u by using f and v. In this way, if you know any two terms you can find the other one. So we can use the equations like this. So these three equations we are getting from the mirror equation. If we are deriving the equation for the f, then you will get the equation for the f like this. And the same way we will get these three equations by using the mirror equations. Then the second equation is magnification, the magnification. So before going to the equation for the magnification, I have to tell some things about the magnification. So the magnification is a kind of value, and this value will give an idea about the image. So for example, if we are getting the value of magnification is 1, if it is 1, the size of object and the size of image will be equal. Then if it is greater than 1, means the magnification is 2 or 2.5, 3 or something. So in that case the image will be larger than the object. So if the magnification is greater than 1, the size of image will be larger. Then the third case, if the magnification is less than 1, then that means the image is smaller than the object. So these are the three cases. One more is there, if the magnification is have a negative value, for example minus 1.5, minus 3, so if it is having a negative value, so the image will be inverted. So that negative sign shows the invert images. So if the magnification is a positive value, so that means the image is erect. So these all are the things we want to say while we are talking about the magnification. So if you are getting a kind of a value minus 2.5, so what the minus sign shows? The minus sign shows it is inverted image. 2.5, look at the second term 2.5. So this 2.5 is greater than 1, so that is an enlarged image, a big image. So we are getting an inverted big image. So that is what we are talking about. So again one more example, if the magnification is minus 0.5, so minus again it shows an inverted image, 0.5 is less than 1, so it is a small image. Then we can look at the equation for finding the magnification, how we can find the value of magnification. So magnification can be found by using the equation hi by ho. So hi is the height of image, ho is the height of object. So if you are dividing these two things, so you will get an magnification, the value of magnification. Remember, we are dividing the same heights, lengths, so there will be no any kind of units. So magnification don't have any unit, it is only a number. Then we have one more equation. The equation is minus v by u. So we know that the v is the distance from the pole to the image and u is the distance from pole to the object. So if you are dividing these two distances, again we are getting magnification. So next we are going to look at some rules, how to find the signs of these v, u and f, whether it is negative value or positive value. So how we can determine that?